As we know, it is back to school season. Those students who are not back in the classrooms just yet, they are preparing to go. And you know, the last 2 school years, they had to deal with a lot of digital and online schooling, that is. So one person we wanted to bring in right here on Live Now from Fox, currently joining us, is Scott Cederbaum. He is the Chief Marketing Officer for INE to talk about how to keep kids safe from online threats. Good morning, Mr. Cederbaum. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. If you wouldn't mind, for first and foremost, telling our viewers exactly what is INE? What do you guys do?
Sure. INE is an online digital training company focused on information technology. So we're experts in training people on networking, cloud computing, and especially cybersecurity. So we have a lot of courses, over 18,000 hours worth of content, where you can learn anything from how to work in AWS or Microsoft Azure, or ultimately how to become a fantastic red team cybersecurity expert.
Wow, so a lot having to do with the online and digital world. I'm not going to say what year it
100%.
was, but it was about age 12 when I started fully logging online. I started getting my own online accounts, passwords, all that jazz. 12 years old, pretty young, right, to be online. So how do we keep students and kids safe from online threats? And is it true, have you heard that young people and teens in particular are falling for online scams more than elderly folks these days?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I definitely feel that. I was online very young. I think I got an America Online account, if you can remember that, all the way back in 1995 when I was 10. So I've been on the internet for a long time, and it's 100% the case that kids and teens are ultimately becoming the target of scammers on the internet, and there's a number of reasons for that. So the ways in which you can keep your kids safe, number one, keep laptops and other digital devices where you can see them. Setting a rule as a family that you should make sure that all of your kids are using their devices in the family room, or the living room, or at the dining room table, keeps them safe, primarily because if kids are going to engage in risky behavior, they're probably not going to do it with their parents or grandparents or other family members right there in the same room as them. So that's a big one. And the second one, is to get used to using parental controls. And these parental control devices out there, there's items that are native to iPhone, Apple devices, Android, and those are really fantastic. You can set them up at the family level so you can control what each device is able to do. Google's also released something called Family Link, which ultimately allows Chromebooks, which a lot of school districts across the country are giving to their students. You're able to set up parental controls on those Chromebooks using Family Link and other devices. So I can't say enough. Definitely get used to using parental controls.
A lot of great tips for sure. Matter of fact, we were talking about, how old we were when we first started using the internet, and that was exactly right. My parents made sure that our PC at the time was right in the living room where they could always keep eyes on my online activity. What about being cyber aware? Because as we know, children have access to the internet a lot more than we did, in particular while carrying these devices.
Yeah, that's really important. So first of all, I think the vast majority of Americans are just not aware of the types of scams that are going out there, no matter how much we try to put it out there. INE's actually started offering free cyber awareness training designed to help companies and individuals be aware of the types of phishing exercises that are out there. If you go to INE.com, you can actually grab that. I think it's a great tool for families. But the reality is, it's our job as parents to be training our children to understand what a scam is. There are people out there that want to get into your children's online accounts, whether that's Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. There's a lot of information and data about your kids that they can only get access to if they're able to log in. So not only being aware of those threats yourself, but having that conversation with it in an age-appropriate manner with your children is really critical to ensuring that they're safe online.
Now, a lot of people, they hear geotagging and they get a little wary due to privacy concerns. But is it true in terms of protecting kids online? It could be a good thing?
Yeah, there's pros and cons to that. I think it's again, this is about getting educated. There are going to be devices that share location, and that's great for us as parents. If you got a teenager out there and they say that they're going to the mall or they're going to a friend's house and that you're able to see that they're somewhere else, it's a good information to have. But the reality is a lot of social media platforms and even video games today are broadcasting or can broadcast where someone is located. And if you're playing with strangers or talking to strangers, that's not always a good thing. So this is another area where teaching your children, having the conversation about how to use geotagging appropriately and safely is really important. And also reminding them if they have questions that they shouldn't be afraid to ask their parents about it.
Is it true that if kids are using social media that parents should be too?
100%. And I think it really depends family to family. But I think the biggest thing to remember is that every app that your kids download, whether it's on their phone, on a computer, or even like if they were lucky enough to get a PS5 or the new Xbox, most of these apps not only allow you to communicate with their friends, which is great. You're playing Fortnite and you want to talk with your friends. What a great way of being able to interact with them, especially in the pandemic where you might not always be able to go and see them. But the reality is that strangers can get into that conversation too. So if you as a parent don't know how those strangers can interact with your kids, there's no way for you to have conversations with them about how to stay safe. So it's always my advice that if you are a parent, you should know how TikTok works. You should know how Instagram works. You should know how all the various devices allow you to talk with other people, friends and strangers alike.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to keep up with all of them. I'm not even on TikTok myself, but I get it. All right.
Definitely. You should check it out. It's a lot of fun.
All right, Scott Cederbaum, the Chief Marketing Officer for INE. We really appreciate you joining us this morning. A lot of great tips for sure, and maybe we'll be able to have you on the show again soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.